This is part of the vertical volume thing, the weapons of mass financial destruction. And these things are increasing in sophistication, and they're increasingly effective. And part of it is high-frequency trading. High-frequency trading is designed to take money from people that don't have access to the means to these hyper-millisecond transactions. And you know, it's there, and you can't avoid it if you're in it. The only way you can avoid it is not to get in it. So not only is this the only defense against weapons of mass financial destruction, to be different and to make money in this business, you have to think critically. And for some reason, and I have been saying this as long as I have been, and you know, had Alexander Trading, it's fascinated me that really bright people get into trading and then for some reason stop doing what they've done most of their lives, which is exercise critical thinking, which most of them have an advanced capability of doing. And you know that because, you know, you guys are doctors and engineers and successful business people, and you got where you are because of critical thinking. And then you get into trading, or people get into trading as a group, and they stop. I've never understood that. It's fascinating. This is sort of my definition of critical thinking. It's figuring out how the rabbit got in the hat in the first place and not being awed by somebody that pulls a rabbit out of the hat and thinking it's magic. I'll tell you a quick story that I thought about when I was writing this. When I was in college, we had these periodic lectures, and we would have, you know, various luminaries. And I heard some extraordinary lectures. Well, one of them was Buckminster Fuller, which is one of the most fascinating things I've ever heard. But another guy, and I don't know if you've heard, some of you have heard of this guy. The guy's name is the Amazing Randi. And I'm sure some of you have heard of Uri Geller. Well, the Amazing Randi he's a magician, but he's also a mathematician. And the Amazing Randi was a guy that went around and he would expose the charlatans of the magic world. Well, Uri Geller, and I guess this was it was in the 1970s. Uri Geller promoted himself as being able to mind bend things and make things move by projecting his thought process and bending spoons. And they studied him at Duke University, which, you know, Duke is supposedly quite a rigorous academic institution, Dwayne. And Duke had a department that studied ESP. And so they had Uri Geller come in, and Uri Geller fooled these guys with his spoon bending tricks. Well, the Amazing Randi basically outed Uri Geller, and there was this big thing about it on 60 Minutes. I don't know if you guys remember that. That was from, this was from the 1970s. But it reminds me of what goes on in the trading business, where someone comes in and they'll give a webinar and they'll put an indicator up on a chart, and then they'll put arrows up, and then they'll show that indicator. Look, every time the indicator did this, it hit here, and then you bought here, and then you sold here, it holds here, and people believe it. It's amazing. So don't do that. Okay, this is the most effective weapon of mass financial destruction ever invented, the trading dome. This was a cult. It still is a cult. There are people that actually think, traders that actually think they can take this and they can read what's going on here and trade with a positive expectancy. You can't. And I offer up as proof of that the demise of the Chicago prop shops. Trading technologies was the outfit that patented certain aspects of the trading dome. I forget the guy's name. Was it Howard Schultz? Is that right? Is Fulcini in here tonight? No, he's not in here. But, and Trading Technologies was charging people, I don't know what they charge now, but they were charging people like $1,200 a month for the right to use their magical trading dome. And you had all these prop shops in Chicago in the 90s trading the S&P minis, and you had guys trading thousands of contracts a day for ticks off of the dome. And you still have people today, because traders are always fighting the last war, you still have traders today, and now it's filtered down, of course, to the retail trader who thinks that he's got to have the latest and greatest dome or trading platform because that's going to be his edge. And he, there's something in the back of his mind that he can recall, even if he hasn't been trading that long, something about in Chicago and the prop shops they use this and that's, that, and the other. So all the brokers are racing in terms of marketing to market their domes because that's what traders want, and this is the magic. And it just, guys, it's just a false indicator. A dome is an order entry mechanism. There's nothing special about it. And trying to read the change in the bid ask here, good luck. You can't do it. This is designed now. It's promoted as if you can get in fast enough, then you're competing with high frequency trading. You've got to have something to compete with the high frequency traders. The reality is there is nothing you can buy to compete with a high frequency trading unless you go to work for a high frequency trader. So this is cutting edge weapon of mass financial destruction, the trading dome and high frequency trading combined. This combination is destroying retail traders by the dozens every single day. You're not going to be one of them. So you don't need faster access. The irony of this is that the traders are being sold that they need faster access, and the reality is that they're being encouraged to jump into the pit with the lions, and it's the last thing they need. You hear me talk about when I have a trade set up, or when you guys have a trade set up, if a tick or two matters, it's not a good trade setup. If I have to sweat over a tick or two, it's not a valid trade in any time frame. I have no business taking a trade where I have to have a perfect price. And this is perfect price trading. It's non-existent, but it's designed so that you can get in faster than your neighbor across the street who's using Dome X and you're using Dome Y. So you've got to do something different. We're doing something different. That's why I harp on this stuff. What you're learning is a very different way to trade. So think and keep records. And this is something else. Why is all this stuff promoted if it doesn't work? Well, because the industry is built on transactions. It's not built on, especially retail traders being successful. There's always a new crop of retail traders.